grab your foam roller and we're going to roll out our glute med. So you're going to sit on the foam roller, coming into a piriformis stretch, taking your dominant foot's ankle over the opposite thigh, figure 4 stretch, and then leaning into the hip of the leg you've lifted up on top. So you're going to lean into the hip, and you can come all the way down to the forearms if that feels good, getting into that fascia. This is a program for singers and actors for sway back posture. We're going to be using a stability device almost the entire time to really get your pelvic floor, your pelvis under you, get you breathing, expanding, using your diaphragm, and opening up those posturally tight areas for better posture, especially improving that upper back extensor area and the overactivity in the rectus abdominis. That'll really improve your sound. So we'll be here for a minute on each side because this is an area that needs to be loosened up so that we can improve range of motion. Go ahead and switch sides. It's been a minute. Digging into that fascia, and feel free with your foot that's on top to plantar flex and work that foot, pointing the toes here. Or you can dorsiflex. Plantar flexion is going to be a little better so that we can also find the adductor line and work the feet a little bit more as we come up onto our foam roller standing in our standing series. So keep breathing here. This is our open postural stretch. And then we're going to move into some abdominals. You've got about 15 seconds left. Hear your breath coming in and out. Watch out for tension in the neck, the shoulders, the facial muscles. Soften those areas. And on your next exhale, you're going to grab your small anti-burst ball and come to lie on your back, supine, placing the anti-burst ball under your sacrum to elevate your pelvis. So with our pelvis elevated here, this allows us room for a little more lumbar extension. So with sway back, we see flexion in the pelvis, which is a tucked pelvis, and this can exacerbate back issues. So we want to open up that low back a little bit more, countering that flexion with some extension. So take your pointer fingers to the bony protrusions of your hips and tip your tailbone over the ball, creating some lumbar extension. And now from here, inhale your pelvis back to a neutral position. So that's the position between tucking it under and arching it. And exhale it back to extension, tipping it down towards your heels over the ball. Again, inhale neutral pelvis without tucking or rounding the low back. It's a very small range of motion. And then exhale, the pelvis pulls towards the heels. Let's hold it towards the heels. And you can keep your hands on your hips so that you see if they stay even and you keep the extension, or you can put the hands on the floor. I like to sometimes put my elbows down, digging them in for a little scapular stability, and then hold my hands to the hips to keep them even. We're going to take one leg in the air. And the leg that we have in the air, let's start with our dominant leg coming up. Externally rotate that leg from the hip socket. Point the toes, plantar flex the toes, and we're going to take the leg away from the body out to the side. And so take it about as wide as your shoulder, coming closer to your shoulder than down towards the floor. Straight leg, pointed toes. Inhale here. And on your exhale, I want you to internally rotate that leg in the femur bone, small little circles of the leg with this abduction away from the leg that we found. So small little circles. And then on your next inhale, you're going to take the leg back up to center. Back up to center. And on your exhale, we'll open it back out as wide as the shoulder. Pause, inhale, grounding your pelvis. Exhale, internal rotation of the leg, circles in, recruiting the underactive hip flexor here, as well as those adductors of your inner thighs, working on pelvic stability. Bring that leg back in. On your next inhale, pelvis pulling towards that heel on the floor, so you're still in extension. Exhale, open that thigh out, and remember it's only as wide as your shoulder, staying in the frame of the body. Internal rotation, working that adductor line as you circle the leg in the hip socket, and slowly bring it back in. Let's switch sides. Setting up on the other side, Remembering the shoulders need to melt down the back, the elbows can pin to the floor. Hands can be on the hips to watch out for hiking one hip. We want those bony protrusions of the hips to shine like headlights, kind of on the diagonal forward in front of us towards our feet, because we're arching our low back over the ball. Circling the leg in the hip socket, make sure it comes in towards the body, not out. Internal rotation. Pause on your inhale to bring the leg back up to your center line, perpendicular to the floor, and exhale, open it out to the side, trying to get it towards that same shoulder as the leg you're working. And then small circles on the exhale, moving the leg back to center on the inhale. Exhale, open the leg. Inhale, pause to ground the pelvis. Exhale, circle. And inhale, bring it back up to center. From here, bend the knee, put the foot on the ground, send your hips up into the air, sliding that ball out. Hold on to that ball. We're going to come onto our knees on our foam roller. We're going to tie our lightest Theraband a quarter of the way into the roller and bring the knees onto the roller. Make sure the excess of the band is on your dominant arm side to start out. So if you're right-handed, that band is right by your right hand and vice versa. The ball's going to go between your inner thighs to help you find that lower pelvic floor and engage your inner thighs here. We're going to wrap the excess of the band around our dominant hand, and we're going to do some loaded lateral flexion. So the bottom hand is going to lift after we take a side body stretch. So the arm that's not loaded, we bend over towards the loaded arm side. We exhale, and then we inhale, lifting the loaded arm up to frame the face. So you're in a nice lateral flexion with both arms up, and holding that position here. Inhale one, breathe. Exhale one, and inhale back up. Both arms come back by your side. So we begin with the arm that's not loaded, bending over, taking the stretch, and then we add the loaded arm up, framing the face, engaging the lat under the armpit where it attaches. Inhale one, hold. Exhale and inhale back up to center. Arm sweeps, both arms sweep by the side of the body. So let them sweep down through a T all the way to the hips. Side body stretch, same side. Inhale, bend. Add the arm, plugging the shoulders down. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Imagine my hands on your shoulders. Bring your sternum back towards my hands on your shoulders. Closing off the rib cage. Pull the abs in. Inhale back up to center. One more time on this side. Take the side body stretch first, opening up those tight lats. Adding the bottom arm. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Imagine my hands on your pelvis, pulling it towards the roller. Pull the abs up against that action, the pelvic floor up against that. And inhale back up to center. Go ahead and switch sides. Setting up on the second side. Knees go on the roller, gathering in your non-dominant arm this time. We're strengthening our external obliques and our lats. Side bend first. Exhale that air out as you bend over. Inhale, add the bottom arm. Plugging the shoulders down. Inhale one, stay. Exhale one, and inhale back up. Arms sweep down by the sides. Immediately begin the next one. Exhale, bending over, taking the stretch. Inhale, add the arm, pelvis pulls down, pelvic floor muscles pull in and up. Hold, inhale, and exhale, and inhale back to center. And let's do one more. We're going to side bend, adding the bottom arm, plugging the shoulders down. Inhale one, breathe. Exhale one, and inhale back up to center. We're going to now come into a plank, and I'd like you to take the heaviest loop band around your upper arms above your elbows and the ball between your inner thighs. We're going to come into a regular plank, so like a push-up position, and from there, this heaviest Theraband that we have around our upper arms is going to give us a little more stability, but we want to pull out on it, engaging our scapular stabilizer. So push down into the foam roller with the hands and pull out. The ball is between the inner thighs, and you're in a nice plank with the hands on the foam roller. From here, you're going to inhale to prepare, exhale to tap both knees to the floor, and then inhale, straighten those legs. Holding that plank, exhale, tap the knees down, inhale, straighten. Exhale, tap them down, inhale, straighten. Give me 5. Breathing into that, and 4, 3, almost there, 2, and last one. 1, bring the hands to the floor. Let's find cat and cow. Let's land in cow, extending the tailbone and chest and chin up, and moving through flexion, exhaling. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as you round. And last time, inhale and exhale, coming to a comfortable seat. Good job.